Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, and choo-choo.
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much. All aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station. Hop on, because we're going chugga-chugga, motherfuckers. So let's go. We have a wild episode today, as usual. They've been insane lately, by the way. So
Really finding our way, James.
we're finding our way in the world, and these stories have been nuts. So we will not slow it down today. Very quickly, though, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yeah.
Get your tickets for the live tour 2023. We are coming places somewhere. Half the tour, the first half of the tour is on sale now. The second half goes on sale early 2023. We've been told. The first two dates, February 10th in Cleveland, February 11th in St. Louis. Get those tickets right now because they are almost gone. So, especially St. Louis, but Cleveland too. Get those tickets right there. And I have said this before. I said this on social media. Cleveland, you fill the house, I will make fun of you no more. I will ignore the sights and the sounds and the smells, and I will say the wonderful people of Cleveland are fantastic.
It's a bold statement.
I will. Despite where they are, it's not their fault, and they're wonderful people. I will praise Cleveland from now on. So do that. You want to hear me find nice things to say about the city of Cleveland? Sell that bad boy out quick and let's do it. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is where you can accomplish that.
No promises.
Jimmie's not in this, but I've been the vicious one that people seem to really think I hate. So Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of your bonus materials, and we have tons of it. Anybody $5 or above, you're going to get access to everything, all the bonus content, which is like 150 back episodes of bonus episodes that you haven't heard. And growing every week, because every other week you get 2 new episodes. So they keep on stacking. It'll be 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder, and you get it all for the low, low price of $5 or more. So there you go. This week, what you're going to get is, for crime and sports, crazy ABA stories. It's American Basketball Association from 1967 to 1976, and then they went defunct, and, well, they merged with the NBA, but they were going out of business. And any kind of defunct league is awesome, and it's just a lot of guys fighting and the worst business decisions you've ever heard of and the dumbest promotions ever. It's awesome. We'll talk about that. Hilarious. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about when video games have been blamed for murders, and it's happened since the early 80s. They were blaming Pong for murders. It's crazy. Ever since a child has picked up a paddle, they've said, you're going to kill somebody if you keep playing that crap. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports, and you will get a shout out at the end of the main show as well. So keep on doing that. That said, Jimmie, I think it's time to sit back.
All right.
Let's all come together and clear the lungs. What do you say here? Wherever you are, we don't care. It doesn't matter. Just hang out your car window and shout it at fellow drivers for all we care. Make people know you're weird. Scare the shit out of your pets. Let's shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
All right.
All right. We are going on up to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yes, Wisconsin. We like Wisconsin. We're going to, Oconomowoc.
Yeah.
Oconomowoc. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. If not, hey, it's a fun adventure. What do you want from me? Oconomowoc.
That is a lot of O's.
Oconomowoc. That's a lot. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 O's in one word, which is quite a bit. And this is about 35 minutes outside of Milwaukee. So it's not far. It's a suburb of Milwaukee out west. Okay. But when this happened, it was very rural out here, cornfields. So I'm sure it's more filled in now. Like exactly where the gross stuff happens here is probably a subdivision now. It's probably track housing. But at the time, it was a cornfield, and so someone is sitting in their nice living room or out back in like their makeshift fire pit area with their nice backyard and look at like a jacuzzi, and there's been horrible things right under their feet, and they have no idea about it.
There's a lattice there now.
We know it for sure. Absolutely. There's a grill on top of where terrible things happen. So this is the population here is about 8,767 people. Okay. Not about exactly, because that's an exact number. You don't say about 8,767 people. That's how many people are there.
How much is this car? Well, about $36,752.
$752 and 45 cents. About. With tax, title, and license. Somewhere in there. Approximately. See, median income here, median household income is high here. I think this is, you can move out to the burbs a little bit and get a little more space.
Sure.
$89,932 a year.
Hey.
So a little higher. Normally it's $55 in the rest of the country. Median home price, though, also reflects that. $410,000 is a median home price, which is also high. So it's expensive out here. Now, I don't think it was as expensive back then. Quick history here. This was originally inhabited by the Potawatomi people,
Them too.
Again, with the Potawatomis.
They're very popular in the Midwest.
Yes, and those peoples from these particular Potawatomi descended from the woodland Indians known as mound builders.
Oh.
I don't know. They're building giant anthills. I have no idea what's going on, but
you can't say woodland, make me not think of little tiny creatures.
Yeah, I think of like a squirrel with a smile on its face and a twinkle in its eye.
A couple of raccoons. Very friendly.
Adorable chipmunks everywhere. So by 1865, they incorporated it as a city, By 1880, there was 3,000 people here. Shit was moving. April 2nd, 2008, a gas line exploded just west of downtown, destroying the First Baptist Church on West Wisconsin Avenue.
Well, that's a sign, right?
So, yeah, I was going to say, they probably thought it was on purpose. And they're like, oh, it was never mind. It was built in 1913, this church, an old church, completely destroyed except for the frame of the bell tower, which later had to be torn down anyway after risk of collapse.
Yeah, because the integrity of the structure is compromised.
Completely all fucked out. So the source of the explosion was an old gas line that had been capped off sometime in the early 70s.
And the cap wasn't done right?
It ruptured after having been struck by a backhoe as utility work was being done on Wisconsin Avenue in preparation for reconstruction on the street. So they hit
It was not capped right. A dipshit dug into it.
Yeah, somebody didn't do the thing that you do with the electric company with the metal detector.
They didn't go find it.
So reviews of this town, 5 stars. Fun, friendly, and hopping town. Hopping. Yeah. You don't hear that very often in our reviews. It's hopping over here. The downtown strip and boardwalk is always popping. It's hopping and popping?
What is it, popping and hopping?
It's hopping and popping. If there's an opping at the end of the next sentence, I'm really going to be pissed. Amazing restaurants and always super friendly people. These are all exclamation point sentences as well, so they're really into it.
Is there a lot of places to go shopping?
I hope so. It's hopping and popping and let's go shopping. Pow. Let's do it. So 4 stars. My parents both lived in L.A. for the majority of their lives. I don't know if they mean Los Angeles or Louisiana, though. We don't know. But they decided to move out to, I guess that would be out as opposed to up. Although it's up from both places, but
it's out of Louisiana.
It's move out to Oconomowoc in 1999 when they had their first son, my older brother. What a weird way to start this fucking review. Clunky writing. They wanted to be closer to family and raise kids in a more family-friendly environment. As far as I'm concerned, they made a great choice. Although Oconomowoc is a quiet city, I thought it was hopping and popping. It's a wonderful downtown area on the lakefront that we go to often for shopping, walking, and getting coffee.
You tell me there is shopping.
There's shopping, hopping, popping, and walking, and coffee.
This is the best place ever. I like it already.
Here's 3 stars. Oconomowoc has a YMCA and a few fitness facilities. However, I really enjoy my gym, Experience Fitness in Brookfield, so I do not work out in Oconomowoc. The quality and convenience of hospital facilities is great. So hospitals and working out is all you care about? What a weird...
That's it.
Wow. 1 star. Grew up here. It was okay then. Nothing impressive, typical small town. Over the years, however, it's turned into a place filled with condos and Karens. I don't understand where the sense of entitlement comes from. Ugh. They actually wrote ugh, like Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Look around. This place isn't great.
It's not great. Things to do quickly. The Oconomowoc Fall Festival is here. Oh, boy. They have vendors. They have all sorts of horse shit going on. They have all kinds of food, BBQ to bunt cakes, it says.
Oh,
yeah,
from B to B.
Lobster rolls to donut holes. It's hopping and popping.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't say hopping and popping there, but there's live music on 2 different stages, brought to you by, from 1 to 2 p.m., the Candy Cigarettes will be up there.
Oh.
From 2 to 4:30, Dan Lepian. So gather around for Dan Lepian. Then from 4:30 to 6:30, Banana Wild will be there.
Oh, that's a big band. Huh?
I want to say Banana Wild Wings when I say that for some reason. And then from 7 to 10, 3 hours, Jesus Christ, is Smart Mouth. I don't know what that is. And then the whole time this is all going on, the whole damn festival, no matter where you are, you could be hit up by this. This is a quote, up close strolling magic performed by Kirkpatrick.
Kirk just wanders around. Let me show you a quarter.
Just pops up and they're like, pick a card. And you're like, get the fuck away from me. I'm eating fried something. Leave me alone, you weirdo. He's wearing a tuxedo in the middle of fucking at the fair, you strange person. That said, let's talk about a murder,
boy.
shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I'd rather.
All right, let's get into this. Yeah, that festival does not sound good.
It's not good.
It sounds bad.
3 hours of Smart Mouth. Like, are they a Smash Mouth cover band, or what are they?
That's what I thought, too, because Dan Lepian, I thought of Def Leppard for some reason.
Yeah,
I feel like
right.
he's a Def Leppard, and then Banana Wind is maybe Bananarama cover band.
Right.
And then I don't know what the Candy Cigarettes are. I'm not sure, but they play maybe just George Thorogood over and over. Yeah, with nobody else. But it's children, 12-year-old George Thorogood impersonators. That would be. I'd watch that actually. I drink alone.
Candy Cigarettes didn't do this to our voice.
That is amazing. So this murder here, we have to go back in time a bit. So
okay,
this is going to be a different time here. We're going to go back to 1982.
Hey,
here we go. 40 years ago now. Here, we have to talk about a gentleman named Carl. Carl with a alternately with a C and a K. I'm not sure which it is because it's in multiple different places as different.
Say again?
Carl with a C or a K. Not sure.
They spell his name different all the time.
Yeah. The state, the feds.
You guys, this matters.
The newspapers. I've seen the same newspaper spell his name differently in editions that were within a week of each other.
What the fuck?
So no one has a consensus on this. No one asked him, hey, Carl, let me get a look at that driver's license real quick. No one fucking clarified. But
how do they get confused?
And in 40 years, no one's figured it out. What's happening? But Carl Beletsky, Jesus, Oconomowoc, Beletsky. This is fucking brutal today. Beletsky, Beletsky. Beletsky, or Beletsky. I don't know if the T is silent or not. But
right.
He's 39 years old, old Carl here. And he, oh boy, he's an air conditioner salesman in Wisconsin.
Well, yeah.
Which is not...
That's probably not a good gig.
Not the best gig in the world. It really isn't.
You're really starved for about 7 months.
I'm going down to Miami to sell heating. It's going to be great. Oh, no, we're going to clean up down there. I'll tell you what. The people, they think they're warm, but they're not.
Yeah.
What is this? Like,
let's go sell refrigerators in Alaska.
Like, look, I know the low temperatures, about 41 degrees in June, but there's about 3-4 days in July, maybe August, and mixed in there. You're going to be happy you got this. Now, I'm just saying, I think it's a good move, for the future for us to all do that.
I got all the paperwork out in my bag in my truck.
It's in my bag. My bag. Oh, God. So that's
so much.
How'd you like to be a 39-year-old air conditioning salesman in Oconomowoc in 1982? That doesn't sound like you're smashing up against a glass ceiling or anything and ready to break through. It feels like you're on the bottom floor.
Yeah,
looking up.
It's not good.
Yeah. And nowadays it's probably not bad because everybody wants air conditioning everywhere because you never know, it might be hot one day. But back then they'd be like, I don't need that. Look out of here with that.
And that might be hot day is fucking sweltering.
It's sweltering. I mean, you could just go in the basement and be fine, but still.
Yeah. Somehow that day just creeps up and you're like, what? We weren't prepared for this.
It's sticky too. It does get, I know it does get sticky, but it's still not, known as a hot spot, Wisconsin.
Unless he's selling window units, then he could be thriving.
Yeah. Also, up north more, I think, is colder because Chicago, it gets fucking hot in the summer sometimes.
Yeah,
it's hot and humid. It's only an hour and a half away in Milwaukee, so I mean, who knows? But he's had some troubles in his life, much like you'd imagine a 39-year-old air conditioner salesman in Wisconsin in 1982. He's been twice divorced.
Okay.
He either has, so his name's either spelled with a C or a K, and he either has 3 daughters or 1 daughter and 1 son. Not sure.
What is happening?
Again,
how did he slide below the radar?
Same publications.
Yeah.
Print completely different background with that in 2 different successive editions, basically.
The census is a failure in Wisconsin.
It's terrible. No one knows anything up there. These reporters are like, I don't know, he's got some kids. We'll go with 3 daughters, and then they just write.
It's none of my business.
None of my,
I don't know.
I don't want to be nosy. I mean, He's got enough things going on right now. I don't want to be too nosy about it.
Journalistic integrity. Who cares?
Who
This
cares?
is children. We don't want to bring them into
Who
this.
knows? So either way, he's got two previous marriages. So like I said, 2 previous marriages. Don't know where the kids came from.
Yeah.
But from these
Could happen to
marriages,
any of us.
and he has just been remarried again here. This is his.
Number 3.
And I say remarried again because this is a number 3. I wasn't redundant. I did that on purpose. Remarried again.
Yeah.
So he's marrying number 3 here at 39. He found Kathleen to marry, and he's ready to go. Kathleen Wallace is her maiden name. She changes it to Beletsky, so she must love him a lot. Yeah. And she's 26 years old.
Hey, good for you,
So Carl's got a 13-year younger wife, and she makes more money than him, too. She does well. She's
He's selling more than air conditioners, James. He's selling his ass off.
He's slinging some dick is what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's hopping and popping in the bedroom.
Bopping.
She's the operations manager at the Bayside branch of the First Wisconsin's bank. So she makes more money than the, door-to-door air conditioner salesman here. So
awesome.
She's the breadwinner, and she lives kind of a cool life. They hang out. Once they get married here, they go to the lake all the time. They have, friends that are fancy. She's got, she knows, bank people. Yeah, they're boat people. They have boat shit. And he's lucky to be latched on to a boat environment because he doesn't have that himself. This is all through Kathleen. So he's got Kathleen, who's, like I said, much younger and does better. They got married in Puerto Rico.
Is that right?
Puerto Rico, baby. And they've been married about 18 months here by mid 1982. Yeah, they've been married married about 18 months. They got married down in Puerto Rico. Went down there, had a nice time. It's her second marriage, his third marriage. So we're going to make this work. 3 times 2 is 6. Let's make it go. We don't want to make
lucky, right?
We don't want to make it any worse. I don't know. That's random as shit, but it sounds like something that you could convince somebody with. You'd be like, 3 times 2 is 6. Let's do this, and they'd be like, yeah, excited, and then you'd run.
Just fit random numbers at them.
You'd fight.
3 times 2 is 6, and I like boats. Let's go.
Because you can't argue that 3 times 2 is not 6. You're like, it is 6, So I don't know why you said that, but you must have had a reason, and it'll make somebody think that maybe they're wrong, I feel like, is possibly. I'm talking about if you were, charging, we have to charge this wall, man, we have to do this. You'd be like, 3 times 2 is 6, let's go. They'd be like, fuck yeah, and they'd run. You could
3 times 2 is 6, let's make this boat float.
Yeah, if you had to, lead people in a
it's
charge.
A good chant.
That's
how
you do it. Maybe not to marry somebody, but,
No.
That's a little
ruin your fucking life.
It's a little more manipulative here, but Kathleen is from Milwaukee. That's where she's born and raised. She's born in 1955. Her parents are Arnold and Barbara Wallace. In 1974, January 19th, 1974, she married Timothy H. Tinus.
Yeah.
Tinus. Tinus, which sounds like tiny penis to me.
Or tiny anus.
Or tiny anus, right. Which is, you know what, arguably worse to live with a tiny anus your whole life.
Yeah.
To constantly be like, oh, God, it's excruciating every time I poop. I'd rather have a little dick, I think.
You would dread Thanksgiving.
That's what I mean. You dread eating. Your whole life would be miserable at that. Every day you'd be like, oh, I got to poop at some point. This is going to be horrible.
Crying about how delicious this food is and how you want to eat more.
Jesus Christ. I'd rather
why are you crying again?
I'd rather have a tiny dick, definitely. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, because
you can figure that out. Yeah, you can figure that out. I'll make that work, you know what I'm saying? But a tiny anus, that's going to be rough always.
Would you rather have a tiny penis with a giant dick hole or a giant penis with a tiny dick hole?
I don't think the hole. Why would a tiny dick with a large hole be advantageous to me? My dick's tiny, but wow, you should see my piss stream. It comes like a fire hose.
I got a string the size of a
quarter. What are you talking
But what if it was just like a pinhole that those stir straws? You ever try to breathe through one of those?
I had a friend who had to have his urethra stretched once a
Jesus.
year. Yeah.
Fuck.
Once a year, he'd go to the doctor to have things jammed in his cock for like 6 hours. He'd have to sit there while it stretched out his dick hole.
Well, he's dilating
Or else
his dick hole.
Or else he couldn't pee. It closed up on him.
That's what I. What if
Nightmare.
you had a giant dick? You had to do that every 3 months.
That sounds terrible. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. By the end of the show, I'll have an answer.
Stream.
I don't want that stream, though. Although, people would hear you in the bathroom and be like, Jesus, he's got a hose in there.
Nobody would know.
So, yeah, either way, I don't know if Timothy Tinus had a tiny penis or tiny anus, but
I hope both.
I hope both. The tiny penis, tiny anus man. It's really a bad life. They end up having a son together, those two. So she has a child as well. Everybody says that Kathleen's very funny. She's a very funny lady, and that also helps her at work, too. She's very good with people. She's good. Her sister said wherever she was, you'd laugh. She's going to make you laugh all the time. Her sister, Janine, Janine Peters is her name. She recalled the night when Kathleen invited Janine and Janine's husband, who was a police officer at the time, invited them over for dinner with her and Carl. Kathleen's new beau, the air conditioner man. And Janine Peters, the sister, said, quote, I came in and he was sitting there. How dare he? Look at him just sitting there in his own home.
Look at him happy.
Look at you. It was like this cold draft came in and grabbed us, both of us. I begged her not to marry him. She married him anyway. Oh. So they don't the family does not like him at all. Immediately.
Yeah.
Off the bat, which, he's icy, but it's a strange thing because out of everyone that we'll ever hear from, the sister's the only person that says he's icy. So I don't know if he just didn't like the sister or maybe she talked to the sister a lot and he was jealous or some sad shit like that. Maybe, I don't know. Sure. That's possible. He's got a cop friend of his who was a sheriff's deputy who later would ask to be not identified for this quote. He called Carl a, quote, ladies' man. Oh. He's a ladies' man and always made a good first impression, which he is a ladies' man. If he's a 39-year-old guy who's not doesn't have a ton of money and he's pulling fucking 26-year-olds with good jobs, that's
right. Pretty impressive.
He's a ladies' man. I'm sorry. That dude, he should be a salesman. I hope. Maybe, you know what? He probably still does very well. He can sell air conditioners in Wisconsin. It's like a weird idiom. He
sells them in January.
In January in Wisconsin. I can sell a popsicle to an Eskimo type of guy, and he's, one of those old men. Hey, I could do it. I could sell to anybody. I sell a popsicle to an Eskimo, I'll tell you. From the 40s or something, you'd hear.
Ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves.
That's the other one. Ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves. You'd sell the, like John Candy, I picture doing that in planes, trains, and
shower rings guy.
I'm the best showering guy in the world. Let me tell you. So the ladies' man, other acquaintances also said that, and a bunch of these he hangs out with a lot of cops, Carl does. They know.
Yeah, it seems like there's already an abundance of them in the story.
Yeah, his brother-in-law is a cop, and then a lot of his friends are cops. So I don't know if only cops live out here. This is like Copland, Wisconsin, or what? But,
Ed Kemper?
Yeah, that's kind of like what it feels like, but I guess that's just who is in the family and shit like that. So they said that Carl kind of withdrew and stopped hanging out after he got married. 18 months before, about 18 months into it. They're like, hey, you notice Carl hasn't been around for like a year and a half, doesn't come around, but he's got like a young wife, so what the hell does he need you for? That's probably why.
All you guys talk about is cop stuff. She has a 26-year-old vagina that I enjoy.
This is wonderful. So they move into their house here. They live here about a year. In 1982, it's in Stonebank is the name of the town. It's an unincorporated. There's no statistics or anything like that. So it's on the border of Oconomowoc. So we'll keep it there. So, they moved in and they have a nice home. But in the last few months, they've been having some marital difficulties. We'll say, they've been having some difficulties. And he told a friend that he was super worried that Kathleen was going to leave him and that he was worried that she was seeing another man, and he was very upset. He said that he, quote, has never been under such pressure before in his entire life.
Yeah, that's the other part about having a younger woman.
He's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I go out to do an install. I come back. I don't know where she's been. Who knows?
She's younger, hotter, makes more money. No, she doesn't need me, and I got to make sure that she needs me.
I got a tiny dick with a giant pee hole. I don't have a lot going for me right now.
I got to create problems and solve them to keep her.
This is bad. He kept talking about how devastated. He kept using the word devastated. He said how devastated he would be if she left him. And his wife, though, Kathleen, has been telling her friends that she is seeing another man.
Uh-oh.
And she wants to end the marriage after 18 months. So that's a quick one.
Yeah.
That's a quick one. Then we'd be going to 4 and 3, which is
yikes,
a lot. So this night here, September 20th, 1982, they live together and everything like that, but he suspects that she's seeing somebody else, and he's just waiting for her to confirm it. He knows what's going on, and she knows what's going on, and this whole thing is kind of about to resolve itself, and it's going to be over with here. So this night, she tells him, he says, what's going on? And she says, I'm leaving this night right now. I'm packing my things, and I'm going to stay with another man.
Yeah.
So he, obviously, anybody would be upset by that. Clearly, devastated is a great word for that. Anybody, whoever you're with, if they're like, I'm going with somebody else right now, goodbye, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
So the thing is how you react to that. You still have to react with some dignity.
Yeah.
Keep your dignity about you. Realize it's not up to you.
There are a lot of ways you can react. You can crumble into a piss and tear puddle, which dignity's out the window.
That's what I mean. You can try to hold it together for a while. There's a lot of ways to do it. But the thing you don't do is you don't pull out a gun and put it under your chin and threaten to blow your brains out. That's one thing you don't do.
For Christ's sake.
That's a little much. So he said, life's not worth living anymore. If you leave me, all I have is my air conditioners and two, maybe 3 kids. I'm not sure. Hasn't been decided yet. I could have a daughter out there. Do you understand? We don't know.
We don't know.
I could have 3 sons. That's wild. Think about that. So he's holding the gun under his chin, and he's saying life's not going to be worth living anymore. He can't take it. It's all over.
Yeah.
So then he says that, quote, she went for the gun, and she pulled it away from me. Like, away from his chin is what he claims. Right. Like, she grabbed it and was like, don't blow your head off in the living room.
Don't do that.
I'd like to get half of this house. It's not going to be worth as much. That sex is not going to be as good later on tonight if I have the image of your viscera.
Half this house and not have to clean this house.
It's going to cost a lot to scrape brains off the wall. So, Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
He says at this moment she pulled it away. He kind of pulled it back, he says, to try to no, I'm gonna blow my brains out. And then she pulled it again, this time with both hands. And apparently there was quite the struggle for this gun. And in the struggle for the gun, it goes off somehow.
Oh, no.
And shoots her right in the face.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
Of course.
Yeah.
It goes. Yeah.
Obviously. Whenever a gun discharges, it goes right in your forehead. So that's how it works. So he goes, okay, fuck. I just shot my wife in the face.
She did.
Well, technically, yeah. I mean, I was holding the gun. I brought it out, but she pulled it over. I mean, obviously, this is mostly her fault, obviously, is what he's thinking in his mind. But
the story.
Still, he says, oh, I felt terrible now. What do I do? I shot her in the face. And he said, she's just such a beautiful woman, and I don't want anybody to see her all shot in the face. And she's, this is terrible. Look at her. She's shot in the face. She's not as, it's tragic. It's tragic. So he says, I have to fix this. So what do you do to fix this? You don't want her to be seen. You don't want her beautiful face to be seen all marred by a bullet. So
what's he going to do, James?
What you do is you go to the kitchen and you get the biggest fucking knife you can find. You get the biggest, grossest butcher knife that you can find. The one that if you had like a big roast and you needed to cut it into like a big ribeye roast, and you wanted to make prime rib sections out of it, you'd get
the one you
never
knife. Let the kids use on their own.
Yeah, that giant knife where they go, can I cut something? You go, no, get away from it.
Are you out of your mind? Not with
Jesus
that
Christ.
knife.
He'll take your hand off at the wrist. Yeah. Yeah, training.
Not until you watch the video. Jesus.
Have you read La Technique? No? No, you're not touching it. That is actually a very old school knife work book, actually, that chefs like. So he got the biggest goddamn knife he could find, and he goes back in to the living room where she is. And he takes this giant butcher knife, and he cuts her head off with it.
What?
He cuts her fucking head off with a butcher knife. Not a chainsaw, not a sawzall, not a butcher knife. He just took her head. And
that ruins all accidental shit out of this, sir.
But he doesn't want anyone to see her, her face marred. So if he takes her head...
That's better.
Now her body's still fine. Look, see, she's not a mark on her, right? Head? What head? Did she have a head this morning? I don't think she had a head. She woke up without a head today. I don't know what you're talking about.
What a choice.
And they said it seemed like it was in one stroke. So somehow...
Oh, Lord.
He must have had a very sharp knife and somehow just... fucking zipped her head right off like he was taking a halibut fillet off the fish or something. Just whoop.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. It's fucking insane. So now he's got his wife in two parts. Poor Kathleen has now been shot in the face and killed, and her head is now removed from her body. So now he's got a body and a head. Now what do you do?
What do you do?
You can claim I accidentally shot her in the face, but not when her head is in a separate part of the house than her body. You can't say I shot her and her head fell off. That's not going to work.
Right. And also the rest of the room is a mess now.
This place is
everywhere.
It's a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shooting someone in the face will do a lot of mess.
Right.
But then when you cut a head off, whoo boy, there's a lot of blood that comes out and stuff. So
it's opening a soda can sideways.
Yep. He said, quote, I didn't want anyone to see her that way later on. So he said, okay, well, here's what I'll do. I will take my wife's head and I'll bring it downstairs in the basement where I have a nice wood stove that gets good and hot.
Yeah.
And he put her head in the wood stove and burned it.
Jesus.
He put her whole head in the wood stove and just placed it in there. So beautiful. I can't let anyone see her like this. I'm going to burn her head. He sat there in the basement while the head burned, and it takes a long time to get a wood stove hot, and it doesn't. You have to get a fire really hot to do anything to a human body. So
that stove's got to glow.
It's got to be absolutely hot to the touch from everything. So, or hot from near it. So he just sat there and started drinking liquor while he watched his wife's head burn.
Yeah,
got himself good and drunk, but then he ran out of liquor.
Right.
He's not a big drinker, I guess, so he didn't have a lot of liquor on hand. So he's
or he can drink all of it like everybody else in Wisconsin.
I was going to say, or he's just from Wisconsin. Drank the whole bar. God. Oh, boy, I got to go to the store now. I tell you what, anybody need anything? Well, I'm getting
here for a new bar.
Obviously, I'm getting a case, but I'm talking about bottles, anything like that.
Right, a case of whiskey.
Just curds, then? Okay.
Boy, do they drink.
They drink a lot up there. They love it, but they're actually they hold their booze well up there.
Yes.
It's not like New Orleans or Tampa where people are stumbling around throwing up in the street.
Right.
These people can drink a lot, and then they're like, all right, then have a good one. And they walk away with no coat on in 22-degree weather, and you're just like, wow. And they're just they got it. They're walking straight. They're not shivering.
They all say, see you tomorrow, like it's guaranteed.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. You think so, huh?
You just drank everything. What are you talking about? See you tomorrow.
And now you're walking around in sub-zero temperatures with inadequate clothing. And you're going to drive, too. What makes you think we're going to see you tomorrow? What makes... Wow.
You might have hypothermia and death before you get to your car.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
And you're just going to go.
Oh, so sorry we've been a little going on a couple of tangents here, but this is rough stuff here. He saws her head off. So he ran out of liquor, so he drove to the store to get more liquor. Shit-faced after he saw his wife's head off. He's like, I'm going to go to the liquor store. He got to the liquor store. He must have been drunk because by the time he got there, he realized he didn't have enough money to buy liquor. He was low on money, so he, quote, just bought some cigarettes instead. That's
I'll just take the smokes.
Not a replacement for liquor, but okay. Something to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So he returned home, and now he's got his wife's head all burnt up in the wood stove.
Yeah.
And he then's like, well, I got to do something with this fucking body. I have a headless body. So then he takes his wife's body, drags it out to the garage.
Yeah.
Lifts it up, stuffs it in the trunk of his car, and thinks, what do I do? So he drives to a cornfield about 2.5 miles away from his house.
Okay.
There's a cornfield in the middle of nowhere. It's on the side of the highway. He pulls the car over. Now, he's scared, obviously, because he's on the side of the highway with a headless fucking woman, so that's a problem. And we'll find out how she's found, too. It's, he's not... You wouldn't look normal if you saw this. We'll put it that way. So
it's almost as if a drunk man dumped a body.
It's almost as if a drunk man decided on how to have a murder dismount. Right. You need to be excessively sober to work on your murder dismount. You can't be liquored up. He drags it out of the car into a cornfield, not very far, a couple of feet from the road, essentially, not far at all, and just dumps it. Or dumps Kathleen's headless body there, gets back in his car, goes home. So he's like, oop, did that. I guess that's good. I guess we're done with that.
Got rid of that.
All done. Well, she won't be leaving me now. Like, okay, well, now what? She's still gone, you fucking idiot. I don't understand killing people that are going to leave you. I don't get it. For what?
That
if I can't have her, nobody can.
Right.
Why?
That thing is weird.
That's a psychological thing that I have a lot of weird I have enough
It's
weird shit in my head, but not that particular
That's
weird thing.
It's so foreign. It's so weird.
It is strange. I don't get that at all.
You don't like that person or they don't like you. Why would you want to be around that?
I don't get it. Yeah. When you're done with someone, they should just not exist anymore to you.
Right.
Why do you need to kill them? You can do that with your mind, you know.
But even
the same thing. You can do the same thing with your mind.
In your bed and not break a sweat.
Never, just in your mind. They don't exist. Done.
Never mop up blood ever.
Poof. Done. No wood stoves.
Dead to me.
Dead
Right.
to me.
I can't fathom that. Why want to be in a whether or not you're done with them? If they're done with you, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it. This makes no sense at all. And he's a ladies' man. This is his third wife.
Yeah.
He'll find somebody else.
Right.
But we'll
You'll
find out
somebody
too.
else to not like you.
He definitely didn't want his lifestyle to end, though. He liked his lifestyle.
Okay.
He liked doing all this stuff. But if she's dead, then that's going to be weird.
Boats really are cool, man.
But this is how cool boats are, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a boat, so now I really want a boat because apparently,
They're
wow,
incredible.
they are fucking amazing. So he dumps it. He goes home. Later on, he'll say, some friends knew we were having marital problems, and if I told them what happened, they would never even believe me. That's what he'll say later on. So the next day, Kathleen's found because he just left her on the side of the highway with no head. So that'll stand out. You know, bicyclists just biking by went, hey, what's that? Holy shit, a body. It was on 67 North, about 100 yards. This is the fucked up part. 67 North is the road. It was found 100 yards from where 3 years earlier a woman named Stephanie R. Peterson was found.
Two drunk men have the same idea.
It's fucking insane right there. Now, Kathleen obviously has no head. She's only wearing a bra and torn pantyhose. Huh. And I assume that's from being dragged to the garage, put in a trunk, taken out, dragged through a cornfield. That'll tear your pantyhose.
Manhandled by a drunk man will fuck your legs pantyhose up.
And her bra, well, he took her clothes off? Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? To make it look, the only thing I can think is that would make it look like somebody abducted her and did terrible things to her or something. So,
but that also lends for a crazier discovery. When you walk up on a fully clothed body minus a head, it's not near as scary.
No, that's
as
terrifying.
Holy shit!
Did he have sex with her corpse? Yikes. It doesn't. In 1982, they would keep that pretty tight-lipped.
Yeah,
they weren't,
in Wisconsin.
Especially in Wisconsin, and that's another thing that where if they think they got him dead to rights, they might not come up because that would freak people out and all that kind of thing. Right. So I don't know, but why would you take? She has no underwear on. Why would you take her underwear off?
Oh,
she's got torn pantyhose. Yeah, torn pantyhose and a bra. That's Why would you do that? That's not cool at all. So
that's bizarre.
She was wearing 2 rings on her left hand. One ring was her wedding ring, and it was shaped like a rosebud and had small diamonds in the middle. The other ring was on her little finger, and it appered to have the initial K embossed on it. This is a little K ring because she's Kathleen.
Oh,
she's Kathleen. Yeah. So they knew right away, okay, this isn't a robbery. She's got diamonds on her hands. No one's going to rob someone, cut their head off, and leave diamonds behind. Yeah. So the body of the other woman, by the way, the Mrs. Peterson, who was killed, it was in 1979. She was found stabbed to death out there, and the guy ended up being arrested for it and was serving a life sentence for it when this happened. So right away they saw that and they were like, "Holy shit, this is the same place!" And they did some checking.
The wrong guy.
Because the cops were like, "Did they fucking let that guy out or something? Like, what the fuck happened?" And they were like, "No, he's in prison since then." Okay, well, this is a totally different scenario then. So they figure out who she is. They figure out it's Kathleen, and they go obviously to the house. And it's a rural house too. It's not. It's kind of out there. So this was like 2 miles even farther out there that he put her. So Jesus Christ. This is about Stephanie Peterson. The guy who killed her was named Edward R. Wolf Jr.
Of course,
who sounds like a murderer. He was a 22-year-old farm worker who killed her. And I guess.
Are you telling me, James? There's bopping, shopping, hopping, and cropping to do
and
out
cropping.
Here?
There's cropping, Jimmy. You know there's cropping. The guy was AWOL from Fort Bragg at the time that he did that. So that's how that went. So where is the head? Police end up going to Carl, and the first thing they want to know when we'll talk about this, they get to him, and they go, hey, found your wife's headless body in a cornfield, just to let you know. And he freaked out, and he was like, oh, my God, oh, my God. He was very, he said, oh, my God, it just can't be her. It can't be her. That's what he kept saying over and over again. It can't be her. So then the cop said, well, do you mind if we look around? Because maybe she was taken from here. We got to look and see if there's anything. And he said, absolutely, do whatever you need to do. Yeah. Free reign, search whatever you want. Go ahead. So they did that. They searched the home and the garage. They found what appeared to be blood on the carpets in a second-floor master bedroom, in the hallway and the steps, and all the way out to basically a trail to the trunk of his car. There's just a blood trail leading from the bedroom to his trunk.
Where he presumably just fell asleep last night.
Where he's like passed out at the wheel.
Yeah.
So, not great. That's not good.
Search anywhere you want except my bedroom.
Except there.
Stairs, hallway.
He did clean up. It's not just, just a blood trail. He cleaned up a lot, but there's still fucking visible blood. And if you're
Dude, he took the head off a woman.
Yeah, it's everywhere. If you're a homicide detective investigating a headless person, you're good at finding blood probably. You're looking for blood. You're not just, oh, hey, what's that? You see fucking blood everywhere. So they said, okay, what's going on? They noticed the blood trails. They found 18 spots of what appeared to be blood on the apron of the driveway. That's where they first noticed it. And they were like, we're going to ask him to search this fucking place. And that's how that happened. It's all over the driveway, several rooms in the house, a trail to the car. It's not good. They also find a hacksaw blade, which they think might have he used to decapitate her at first. Then later on, they discover it's a kitchen knife. It wasn't a hacksaw blade. Okay. So one police officer here said, he found the 18 spots of blood, and they also saw what appeared to be hair clumps in some areas as well. And then they noticed also some kind of cleaning powder in front of the garage. There was just some powder over stuff. Like he thought that was going to fix it.
Laundry detergent or something?
One sheriff's department detective said that a, quote, red substance was found on the garage floor, and the substance was covered by a white powder that appeared to be kitchen cleanser. He just put some Comet on it.
Yeah. Throw some sprinkle Ajax on it. It cleans the stove.
And it's also even more stands out more than blood, a giant white pile of shit. They just moved it aside with their foot, and they were like, oh, there's blood under there. Holy shit. So then they checked the whole house, and they searched the basement.
Uh-oh.
Somebody pops the wood stove and goes, holy shit, I think we found the head, everybody. They find what they later describe as teeth and apparent skull fragments in the wood stove. They pile that up. They said that someone tried to clean these items out after they were burned. You could tell they were mixed in with ashes and shit. Kind of like a drunk guy tried to clean the bones out of a wood stove.
Mixed it all together.
That looks like all of them. And then he lit another cigarette. So, the autopsy, the deputy coroner said that he says that Kathleen was dead before someone began removing her head. So that's good to know anyway. They said that she died of a blow to the head or neck, of a blow to the head or a neck wound. He has no idea. So they bring in somebody else. They bring in Dr. Robert Huntington III. They're like, he sounds way more impressive than you, Paul. The other guy's name was Paul Hubbard. If you die, who you want looking into it, Paul Hubbard or Dr. Robert Huntington III?
Huntington sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds like his grandfather was a doctor, and so is his father. I trust this guy. He says that Kathleen had inhaled a large amount of blood before she died.
No.
She was shot in the face and probably in her sinus cavity, which would drip into her lungs, and she probably had that sort of thing. So they said that she, before she died, probably due to a smashing or penetrating injury to the head or neck.
Okay.
That's how they could tell, because they only have the bottom half to go by and a couple of bone fragments and some teeth for the head. Right. So they can't see a big hole in the face or anything. They said the cause of death was in the head and neck because there isn't anything else elsewhere that's sufficient. The rest of the body's fine, so they don't get it. Yeah. So He also says that the victim was decapitated, quote, in a clean, sweeping motion, and added that there were several other cuts around the neck, though, which indicated there were some interruptions in the cutting, which happens a lot. You'll see anytime, even with serial killers, you'll see a lot of wounds that are very shallow, that they're trying to get the moxie up to do it. God. So he might have started at one spot and went, no, that's the wrong spot, and moved it up. No, that's the wrong spot. No, that's the right spot. Yeah. So yikes. They said that this pathologist said that decapitation could have been done with a butcher's knife, such as the one the police say they found under a seat in his car. He didn't even throw it into the field. You could put
it under the seat.
A butcher knife big enough to cut a head off with, you could get some distance on that if you threw it like a fucking discus. You could really, or backhand it out into a cornfield. You could really whip that shit out there. He just said, I'll just put it under the seat. It's fine. They'll never find it. They'll never find it because it's under my seat and nobody ever looks there.
I don't see it. Do you see it?
I've never looked under my seat before. So I don't think they will either.
When I put it under there, I found a French fry. I haven't had a French fry in 8 years.
It was good, too. I had it again. It was cold, so I think it's good then.
Still
right?
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Feels good between your teeth. It's Wisconsin. Culver's should offer that as an option.
That would be amazing. Sweet potato, curly, regular, or under the seat fries. Which ones you want? Y'all want the under the seat fries?
Under the seat.
Under the seat. Fries on my munchie. Down where they're crunchy. Under the seat. There, we just made your commercial, Culver's. Congratulations.
The shit out of get Sebastian to sing it. God damn it.
Under the seat. Just a little, just a knockoff. It doesn't even have to be Sebastian. That's amazing. Culver's, where are you? Reach out, Culver's. We'll do the commercial for you.
Side with your lunch. Reach under the seat.
Under the seat. Fries are more munchy. Down where they're crunchy. Under the seat. Oh, my God. They said that this is this doctor said, if the assailant was strong and was able to have his or her arms fully extended and descending with force when it hit the neck, so he could kind of just do one big
God
and just cut through it. Jesus. Kenneth A. Bennett, a University of Wisconsin biological anthropologist, testified that the bones in the wood burning stove in the home did belong to a human 12 years or older, but he could not determine the sex or race of the person because it's just bones. So they arrest him, obviously.
Sure.
They arrest his stupid ass. They set his bail at $150,000, which doesn't even seem
low.
Exactly, right? That's what I'm saying. But the two public defenders he has, they asked that the bail be reduced so he could get out.
No.
They're like, he can't afford that. They said that, quote, if he remains incarcerated, he could lose his job. The job is a moot point now. He's going to prison. The job is there. Will he lose it if he goes to prison? He cut his wife's head off. What are you talking about?
The penalty for that is a lot of no-call, no-shows for several years.
Your Honor, he's going to have to use PTO. I mean, this is crazy. He's built that up. He's got a fishing trip planned next year. He's planning on.
Does he have
what are you talking about?
PTO equivalent to 20 to life?
What is happening? Yeah, this is.
What are we talking about?
Ridiculous. The judge said, no, 150 is good. After all, this crime is a, quote, an alleged horrid act of violence. So we're going to go ahead and hang on to him for a while if he can't do that. So that didn't work out. They did grant the request that television crews be forbidden from filming him in handcuffs in the courtroom.
Oh.
He had a request that he only be shown. This guy, he looks way older than he is. We'll show you a picture of him in there. There's this picture of him in court, like pointing at a chart. He looks like he's 58. He's got
a 26-year-old.
All gray hair. He's got glasses.
What?
You're like, what the fuck is going on? This guy does not look like a 39-year-old who bangs a 26-year-old by any stretch. So very, very strange. They said that all the court reporters said he looked listless while this was going on. He's just sitting there.
I don't know what that emotion is. I just know it's in a Pearl Jam song.
Yeah, looking sad. He's looking sad.
All right.
So, yeah, he said, though, in later on, Jesus fucking Christ, When he talked to the cops, he said, quote, "I was just trying to scare her. She grabbed the gun. It just went off." And they said, "Why'd you cut her head off?" He said, "Well, he didn't want anybody to see her the way she was. She was such a beautiful person." And they said, "Well, then why'd you burn her head?" And he said, "Because he didn't want anybody to see her that way," obviously.
Dude, seeing her the other way is so much worse.
You think burning on what was it like when it burst into flames? Was that better? When her face and head burst into fucking flames? That's insanity.
Headless in a bra and pantyhose in a field is so much worse.
The most terrifying thing ever. Yeah, that's something that like a Halloween decoration that's terrifying. Right. You know, even there you'd have to have underwear on it for fuck's sake. He said some friends knew we were having problems, but you know that's it because they kept asking about that. They said, "Well, what about the gun? It's a .32 caliber revolver." He said he's had it for 16 years. It's just his old gun that he kept in the closet. He threw it into a lake afterwards. So one of his friends, or one of a close friend of the family, said, quote, "I'll never believe he did it. The only way I'd ever believe it is if he looked me in the eye and told me straight out, but I don't believe he's the type of guy that would ever say that. I don't think he'll ever tell me." Well, you can just have some. You can have some real. You can really separate your brain from reality when you want to, can't you? When you want to believe something. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This when we've talked about shit before, and we're like, how come people can't stop with conspiracy theories? Because this guy doesn't believe that this fucking happened, even though he fucking said so. He said, "I won't believe it till he tells me personally." He put
the judge under oath.
Yeah, he put another obstacle to it,
right,
for me to believe it. That is wild. Carl's dad, who's still around, he said, quote, "There aren't any answers to this. I've been groping for days." Really? That's the term you're going to use? I've been groping for days. While I've been trying to figure this out, I just went to the mall and started touching kids and teenagers and grabbing tits and asses and single moms and whoever I can get my hands on. It didn't help, oddly enough.
I've been twisting nipples all day.
It's just
I
nothing.
Can't get to the truth.
I gave a chick a wedgie. I got nothing. I don't get it. He said it's just a horrible thing that happened. It's unexplainable. It's pretty explainable. This guy fucking got jealous and lost his goddamn mind. His attorney, by the way, or her attorney, she wanted a divorce. She first called him in August to discuss a possible divorce. Uh-huh. And this attorney, James Eilman, he said she called again September 15th or 16th and asked for an appointment as soon as possible. He told her he couldn't see her until the 22nd of September, which is the day after this happened.
Oh, shit.
So she had an appointment, but not that getting a divorce would have stopped this at all. So, he said you could see the disappointment in her face when I told her that, but he didn't know why she was so insistent on seeing him sooner, but he said she certainly didn't suggest to me that she was physically afraid of Carl. And no one said that he was that kind of guy, so it was weird. He makes a motion that he should be let go. Not only is he going to lose his job, but he said the complaint was defective because several statements allegedly made by him were hearsay. I don't know how he can say things that he did would be hearsay. I don't know how that works.
You guys weren't there. I have to relay what happened to you, and that's hearsay.
I guess he's saying the cops wrote in the report what he said. Okay. A cop's report is hearsay, but it's also the report. So he said it was unclear how the district attorney received information from several people named in the complaint. In other words, witnesses.
Right.
Yeah, that means detectives went and talked to them, would be my guess of how they got the information.
You can't make guesses. It has to be cut in dry chains.
Yeah, and he said they searched his home without warrants. So based on all that, even though they found his headless wife and then blood all over the driveway, that looks like it was being cleaned up also. At that point, you don't really need a warrant because...
That's probable cause, right?
I would think, well, not really because she's already dead, but you don't know if there's other people in there. He could have 5 other people hostage in there. That's a gray area, but they're saying they asked him and he said, no problem, do whatever you want. So he says the charge should be dismissed. Just dismiss the whole thing and we'll call, look, no hard feelings, okay? You don't get upset, I don't get upset, everybody's fine.
Come back with better evidence? Is that what he's saying?
That's it. Yeah, just come back another time. They asked whether the officers asked permission to look through the house, and he said, not to my knowledge. He also said he didn't give them permission to search the car, but he didn't stop them from searching. Okay. So he didn't say, don't search, but whatever. He fires his public attorneys and gets a another lawyer here. So he gets that. March 83 is the trial. The district attorney says that he was distraught because he was going to lose his wife, and it would upset his lifestyle. Yeah. He said, quote, "No more lake friends, no more life in the fast lane. Everything that man relished would be gone."
It's tough to give away.
No more 26-year-old tits. None of these things. It's all over.
26-year-old
in his
tits
mind,
bouncing on Suck My Wake. God
yeah,
damn it.
Bouncing on jet skis in the fucking...
Oh, the worst.
While you're crappie fishing. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Lose that with this face?
Oh, man. So they said that statements that Kathleen made about her marriage will not be admitted as evidence. So that's huge. So anything she said, if she told her sister that I'm afraid of him, that can't come in. That's big. That's a big one. Statements, they called them volatile, violative of the right of confrontation because she's not here. So, wow. Anyway, he gets in here and he admits, he testifies. He has to admit that he killed her and decapitated her. His lane is very small here. His lane is that his whole fucking case is I shot her because she grabbed the gun by accident and went off. Yeah. Total accident. So I got scared, didn't want people to see her like that, cut her head off, got drunk, and then I was too scared to call 911, which is a terrible argument to make in court. I don't get where you're. So why are we here? I would say. Right. Why didn't you just say guilty? You just described guilty.
Right.
What you just described is a guilty plea. What are we talking about?
So yes.
Yep. He said she went for the gun, tried to pull it away from me. They bring the head bones and teeth in. They show that to the jury. There's a big objection over that. They tried. They made a big deal. They put it on a table in the courtroom, and they were like, "That's Kathleen's head now." It's like 3 bone fragments and some teeth. The jury is 7 men and 5 women. They deliberate for fewer than 6 hours, and that's including 6-8 beers probably in there. Right. So it's a short amount of time, and they find him guilty of first-degree murder.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
he admitted it.
Obviously, yeah. This was the weirdest thing. They had a big trial. He's testifying. At some point, he had to turn to his lawyer and go, "What's the plan here exactly? Do you have a plan?" "Oh, you thought I had the plan." No. I thought you had the plan. What's going on?
It's like Bundy going in and being like, "I got a thing for young girls.
Yeah.
I just have to murder them after." And obviously.
I cut their heads off and I have sex with them after that. You know how it is. No, we don't, Ted.
So not guilty.
Not guilty, yeah? No.
What is...
Jesus Christ, you jackass.
Wisconsin's
That's
wild.
Amazing. That's just a wild thing to go to court. You'd think the whole jury would just be like shrugging their shoulders, looking around. Are we missing something or something? Why are we here? He just... Not guilty. I killed her. I cut her head off. I didn't want people to see her like that because she was going to go fuck another guy. Okay, so guilty?
I got a mayonnaise to sell. I got to go.
Could we just change your plea maybe? So during the sentencing, he reiterated again that he'd been pointing the weapon at his own head in a suicide threat to dissuade her from leaving him for another man. He then says to the judge, quote, "It was an accident. It turned into a very serious tragedy." That's an understatement.
No kidding.
A very gross tragedy. And the judge comes back with, "Even though circumstantial, the multitude of evidence is satisfactory. You have to live with your God. This is one of the saddest days in the history of Waukesha County. You, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison and no beer. No beer and life." That's extra stank in Wisconsin. Normally they let
no Miller Lite for you.
You can go to prison, but they all have like a beer sponsor. There's a tap. You gotta let the guys have a couple. You gotta let them lift a couple. You know what I mean? But not there, not you, pal. You're not getting it.
Off to the PBR death row.
PBR death row. So he wants a new trial. That is denied. He has a motion for a new trial based on very little. He said that the prosecutor or the judge erred when he gave the jury a choice of only finding him guilty of first-degree murder or acquitting him. And they said, no, that's what it was, so fuck you. Yeah. Then he appeals for a shorter sentence in 1989. It's like, come on, shorter sentence. Based on what? I have no idea. He said that the reason he's seeking the action was to provide custody options and not to escape punishment. I don't know what that is. So then he has an appeal against transfer. They're going to transfer him to a private prison facility, which I actually know a shitload about. It's CCA is the company, Corrections Corporation of America is the private thing they want to do. American Prison by Shane Bauer is a book about a journalist who got a job as a CO at Wynn in Winfield. Wynn Correctional Facility in Winfield, Louisiana, that's owned by CCA.
Same company, yeah.
And the corrections officers made $9 an hour. Jeez. They didn't give a fuck about the prisoners or what happened to them. It was. That's
where he wants to go.
I've read no, that's where they're sending him, and he's suing to not get sent there because they don't have any. They don't have any of the things that he's been doing. They have no programs. They have nothing because it's for profit. So there's. Yeah. It's stripped to the fucking bone. They don't even let the prisoners out a lot of the times in this book they're talking about because they're understaffed because they just don't want to pay people.
And it takes electricity to open those gates. We can't afford that.
They say that he's participating in a federally structured post-traumatic stress disorder treatment counseling program through the Madison, Wisconsin Veterans Center. And the counseling sessions provide ongoing treatment by examining complex issues extending from his childhood through his military service. And the Corrections Corporation of America prisons do not provide post-traumatic stress disorder on-site treatment. So he is begging not to go there. I don't think he ended up going there, actually. Really? I think he won that one because it's not to the standards of Wisconsin, I guess. So August 20th, 2019, he is paroled. They let him out.
What?
I mean, he is like 80 years old, but still, they let him out. They let him the fuck out. Janine, Kathleen's sister, is fucking pissed. She's real pissed.
I'm livid.
She said it was sneaky. No, I got nothing. I think it was done underhandedly, under the radar. She said she wasn't notified of the parole hearing.
Wow.
Now, this is all actually by the law, though. She actually did like commercials against the governor at the time for this, like saying he was the one that did it. But in the end, it's just the law he was sentenced under. But fine print doesn't make good political commercials. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. Outrage is very good because I'm outraged. We're all outraged.
I can't.
He shouldn't have got out.
He should be in Miller Lite Gen Pop for the rest of his life.
But instead, it's just they changed the law in 2000. He got sentenced under the previous sentencing guidelines. Wow. So it's nothing you could change. You can't retroactively go back and change things. So be mad at whoever was in charge in 1981.
Right.
Not that I don't even know who the fuck is in charge now. I'm not touting for anybody. It's not political. I'm just either way. So they said that nobody got any notice. Kathleen's sister said the woman said, "Don't you know he's been out?" I thought, okay, it would have been nice if somebody told me. She says that she believes, by the way, that her head was cut off before she was dead.
Oh, God.
She insists. She said she doesn't believe she was shot. She believes that she was bludgeoned or had her throat cut, and then he cut her head off and threw it in the stove in the basement. He's talking about Carl. She says he lies and lies and lies, and he's still lying. She believes the parole commission waited to free Carl until the prosecutor turned judge who handled the case retired. Yeah, because he wouldn't come and do that. They said they knew I was always the one writing and going. I've been doing it since 1983. Every time he was up for parole, they sent me a letter. One time I actually sat there. I was thinking, wow, it's been a long time and they haven't sent anything. So I called the girl and she said, you didn't know? They let him out. I never expected him to see the light of day. I mean, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why should he be out? He got life. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Then she says, I blame the parole guy. She also blames the governor for appointing the parole guy and all that. She says, what does he care if it's an election and he wants votes, and if that's the way he's got to do it, that's what she said. He was let out because he was the parole rules were in place before the year 2000 when they changed the law, making him eligible for parole after serving 25% of his sentence and needing to meet criteria like time served and all that kind of shit. Under those rules, prisoners would have to be released after serving 2/3 of their sentence, though that's not the case for life sentences, but it didn't go into effect till 2000. So right now he's out and apparently living in Hatley, Wisconsin, Yes. And if you want, there's a good picture of him at outlet.historicimages.com. There's a picture of him, a 1983 picture of him in court. You'll never believe he's 39. Jimmie, roll your chair over quick. We'll have a second, but look at this guy.
Get the fuck out of here.
39 years old. No, he looks fucking 58, right?
He looks like a retired detective.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I thought it was. No, that's our guy. It's crazy. So you can buy that on there for $9. It's a recreation. That, everybody, is Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and some crazy head in the stove, body in the cornfield type shit. If you like that show, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars and tell all your friends. That's really the best way to spread the show, social media, and your friends. That's how people listen. I'm telling you right now. Right. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Tickets for 2023 live show are on sale. February 10th in Cleveland. February 11th in St. Louis are going very fast. Kick the tour off with us. Right. Do it right there. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get the bonus stuff, $5 or above. You get it all, back catalog, new stuff. Every other week you get 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. This week, ABA for crime and sports, video games being blamed for murders on small town murder, and you get a shout out at the end of the regular show there, $5 or above. Do that. That said, shout out social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Do that. Hit us up. Keep coming back. Yes. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com if you want to follow us individually. Our links are all there. Everything's there. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Thank you so much, everybody.
Let's go.
Pull it into the station. Let's do this. Thank you so much. And until next time, thank you. It's been our pleasure.
What?
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.